Suspect that most of you knew that are in chat. I'm gonna give folks a minute to find the stream before I dig into today's subject matter, which is how to quit your job and follow your dreams. And that's a little bit of an oversimplification of kind of what I'm gonna talk about today, but it's that's kind of the subject. But there's a lot more to it than that, because there's a lot of misconceptions about what working means in this culture and society, and what not having a regular job means. So I just kind of wanted to talk about that a little bit too, from my own perspective. And yeah, so we're going to get into that in a little bit. Welcome, everybody. I see a couple of people that I don't recognize their names. We got I don't know how to say that. Hi, hello. Zoe says, how's it going? It's going good. I've been busting ass for, the whole time I've been here, but today I've been doing a lot as well. My homie is going to be moving some stuff into their studio, so I've been hanging some paintings up very carefully. They're probably worth more than anything I own, but I, with the good drywall screws and moving them with the gloves and such, just getting them up out of the splash zone and the danger zones, because when you're a successful artist and you're busting a bunch of shit out all the time, when you go about kind of moving on to the next thing, there's a lot of things that you don't have time for. So a lot of times when they're moving paintings in and out of here, they get just kind of placed wherever they can sit safely, and that's fine. But with people coming in and out of the studio here, it sketches me out, because with them in bumping proximity, things can get bumped or smudged or whatever. So that's what I've been doing. Where's the ladder? Oh, I put the ladder back outside. So yeah, I've been putting some stuff up. I don't have a tape measure or anything, so I'm not trying to get it all proper. I'm just trying to get them up and out of the way so that they don't get smashed or run into or beat up or something, or just splashed with more paint. And yeah, just kind of making room. Satan's over here on the thinking chair, having a good musing time. Yeah, Satan. She loves that spot. She always loves the spot where I like to brood. Get you a man who broods in the brooding chair. It's an important aspect of the artist lifestyle. Chain smoking, brooding. It's all part of it. So yeah, I imagine that a lot of you are here because you're regulars and you enjoy my streams and what I have to say, and you're going to get plenty of that. And a lot of you might be here because you're maybe newer and you don't really know what it is that I do, or maybe you have an idea, or you're really just here because of the title of the stream. And what that indicates to me is that you're sick of your job and you're sick of running the rat race, and kind of feeling like you're at a dead end in the economy here in the U.S. It's rough. Anybody who is working, anybody in the workforce that isn't one of the lucky few that has a high reward type of occupation, you're getting run ragged, and that sucks. We're in the throes of late stage capitalism, in which the empire is crumbling, as it were, and where that goes mostly is on the shoulders of people that are working just to get by. So you're getting squeezed more and more, you're feeling it more and more, and you're wondering increasingly every day, how am I going to manage? How am I going to keep paying for my basic stuff? And yeah, that's rough. And it's not right. It's not right that there's billionaires with more money than they can ever spend in a lifetime that are just throwing money away on stupid shit, more money than you can even like fathom on stupid shit. And while other people are on the street homeless and getting shuffled around, they can't even pitch a tent and like have a place to call their own for very long because they're going to get rousted and moved along, and society is going to blame them for their horrible conditions, and that could be you at any point. You know, most folks are just a paycheck away from not being able to keep getting the things that they need to get by. And yeah, you have a lot more in common with a person living on the street than a billionaire, that's for sure. And there's, like I said in the beginning, there's a lot of misconceptions about what work is. And it's a big topic. Shit. So I guess I feel like I'm not quite caffeinated enough to even. This is like, you know, it's a much bigger topic. On its face, you might be expecting me to give you like a step-by-step guide on how to, I don't know, how to, whatever. I've talked about how to simplify your life. I've got a whole playlist. It's called How to Simplify Your Life, and it's basically for people that have decided or not decided, have been forced to move into a vehicle or hit the road or something, and, you know, maybe they don't have any better options and they just would rather live life on their own terms than in a situation where they've maybe seen through that sense of false security, and they don't see any better way out. But yeah, so I've talked about that. Those skills and ideas are useful for anybody, not just people that are doing the van life thing. And it is funny how, like, we have to call it van life and, you know, be kind of disingenuous about what that means, and like kind of glorify it or fantasize about it, like, but really it's just that the system is failing so many people, so they don't have better options and they're making the best of it. They're making it look cute, which it is. If you work for that, it can be really not cute as well. And yeah, or like people living in tiny homes or people that backpack. Like my lifestyle, I make it look sexy. I make it look nice and cute. But there's a lot of aspects of it that are really difficult, and I'm managing as well as I can. There is no step-by-step guide on how to follow your dreams. You got to remember that. So if you're waiting around for somebody to give you permission to do that, you're never going to get it. And if you're waiting for a moment where it's going to become like, you know, you're going to get the go-ahead to go on and live your life the way you want to, nobody's ever going to give you permission to do that. There's never a right time to hit the road. There's never a right time to follow your dreams. It's just when you make that decision. And let's see. Off that Henny and Perp. Nice. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. From experience, please estimate the number of homeless that live that way because they prefer it. Okay. Let's see. Maybe like 1% or less, honestly. Like I'm actually like seriously like trying to consider that, because like all of the people that, you know, decide to, like, maybe they do have a job that they quit or something, they don't feel like it's really a choice at a certain point. Like, I didn't have a choice. Society never left room for me. I'm a neurodivergent, eccentric individual with, I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on, right? And So I just kind of did what I had to do. And yeah, that is a brilliant question. Thank you so much, Perp and Henny. Henny and Perp. I'm going to call you that. It's a winning combination, to be sure. Although I don't do the Henny myself anymore. But, you know, I can appreciate that. Let's see. Your dream job should be to live your dream simple. Okay, so let's see. Oh, you thought it was much higher. I know, right? Because people make it look good. And there are like, okay, the reason why you would think it would be much higher is because the people that you see, the most visible people are the people that are also making their way, they're making ends meet like me through internet representation. So you've got like homesteading, TikTok, and off-grid, whatever, TikTok, Instagram, whatever, and you've got people like this is the way that I make money. Okay, it's donation based, and I get a small amount through ad revenue here on YouTube. It's not much, and it's not fair for the amount of work that I'm putting in. But I am working for myself, and I'm glad for that. That's just how it is. So that's the reason why you would think that there would be a much higher percentage of people that, leave society to follow their dreams, and it's like completely of their own volition, not because of economic struggle or issues or other such issues. Like, there's definitely like a gray area for some people where it's like they're weighing out, like, do I really want to be doing this and working in the workforce for my entire life and then maybe getting a chance to retire? But like, there's also there's economic things to consider within that. So it's, that's just my estimate from experience, interacting with as many people that are homeless or homesteading. Like, as far as with like people that are homeless, I would say like close to 0% of them do that because they prefer it. Like, who would choose to be homeless, right? And I say in air quotes because like that is a problem that our society has completely fabricated. People wouldn't be homeless if you would just allow them to build a home. In other countries, like India, I saw this picture of, and like a short article about this neurodivergent fella who has been building this crazy structure for his whole life. And it's just like a tower of just salvaged stuff. And it's actually pretty cool. Like, it looks like, to the untrained eye, maybe a pile of shit, right? But like, there's an actual interior with rooms and spaces that you can be in. It's not built to building code, so it's a little, ramshackle, but it's cool. Like, there's tons of crafty homeless folks out here in LA that I see. And like, I passed by on my way to the wrestling gym a week or so ago, and like there was this homeless camp that had like an herb garden, and I could see kind of inside the tarp wall there was a nice couch and a TV in there, and a homie had like buddies hanging out smoking weed. I could smell the good weed from the sidewalk. Like, if you didn't make that guy move, or person, I don't know what gender they were, but if you made that person, if you didn't make them move all the time, imagine like what they could build. Because, likely they had only been there for maybe like a couple weeks or something before they're going to get rousted. And why would you spend a bunch of time building up a crazy house if you're just going to get moved and they're going to take all your shit anyway? So if we would just let people build homes, then we wouldn't have a homeless crisis. But because we're in this type of government that has to control every aspect of our lives, they see that as a threat. They would rather just do away with these people. So if you're here because you hate your job and you're trying to figure out how to quit, fucking just do it. quit being a pussy and fucking quit your job. If it's killing you, it's killing you. There's better options. There's always a way out. I understand that a lot of people have like family members and things that they need to, or things that they feel like they need to look after, and you know that is true. But at the same time, like I'm not saying abandon your kids. Okay, don't abandon your kids. But like there is a certain level at which you just need to take care of yourself. So if you don't have any kids and you don't have like somebody that you're taking care of, there's really nothing stopping you, especially if you've got a vehicle or something. You're always going to be worrying about money. That's the thing. And not having a job becomes its own job. I don't live the way that society wants me to live. And my home address is a squat in Slab City. And I built the majority of the space completely out of salvage, because in certain areas, if you dig for it, nobody's going to spoon feed you information, but if you dig for it and if you just keep your eyes open, there are places where you can get away with building enough of a structure that you can comfortably live in, and nobody's going to find you until you've been there for quite a while. And that's what, you know, adverse possession can be. And there's also tons of empty houses. Nobody is going to give you a step-by-step guide on how to crack a squat, unless they have. You're on the internet, take a look. I'm sure there are resources. I've seen zines about it. Sorry, excuse me. I have a, like, dirt in my nose. Okay. Anyway, zines are independent publications, often put out by punks or other punk-adjacent activists. So if you end up at an anarchist book fair, there's lots of them across the country all the time. Keep your eyes open. Chances are you'll come across information on how to squat and how to open spaces and how to host your community, etc. And you don't have to travel to drop out and go your own way either. There's no right way to do it. If you're miserable at your job and you're worried about money, you got to remember that sense of security that you rely on because of your conformity to the system is an illusion. All it takes is for somebody in a suit to sign a paper or something and completely screw you over. Take your stuff, kick you out of your home, stop paying you, fire you, and then what? You've got to accept that sense of security that you feel from society is false. And the veil is slipping more and more every day. I'm ripping on this here, delicious distillate pen. Hot pink. I got kind of a look today. The stream went live before I hit any buttons, but I was going to be wearing this at the beginning of the stream. Look all like, you know, studious or whatever. Punk rock philosophy is in session. I really like these, actually. I got these yesterday. This is my new look. Yeah, I'm going to catch up in chat here. We've got 50 people in chat. I wonder if more will join. This is kind of a loose, just me monologuing about jobs and money and society. And I'm oh, yeah, that THC just hit. Completely derailed my train of thought. Welcome to the Range says the Slab City in every county. Hell yeah, that's what I'm talking about, Bill. That's right. See, that's a wise man there. He knows what's up. I agree. I think, like, if we had just, like, a couple square miles in, you know, I think we'd have a lot of trouble convincing the powers that be that every county should get one, but maybe we could start with every state. I don't know. If you've got land and you're out in the middle of nowhere, maybe near a major city, maybe like, I don't know, part out part of your property and just like kind of low key put out the word that people can come and pitch tents and, you know, set them up with water and some basic solar structure, you know, a solar system so that they can charge their phones and shit. Like, why not? But yeah, if there was one in every county, that would solve like so many problems in this country. I swear to God. So yeah, what I want to come back to, like, if you're here thinking that you never want to work again a day in your life, and that's like the big goal, I'm sorry to tell you, but that's just never going to happen. That's kind of a false narrative. It's an idealistic thought. Like, homesteading is one of the most difficult things that you can do. So if you're thinking that like homesteading is the way, but you don't want to put in work, then you're barking up the wrong tree. There's ways to like minimize the amount of physical work that you can do. You can join a collective and maybe take care of less physical aspects of this collective. But of course, you're gonna have to get good at working through interpersonal issues and communicating with people, because when you live with other people, they're not just props in your life. Those are living, breathing human beings that you're with, and they also have needs just like you. So you all have to work together to address those needs, right? You're never going to stop working unless you're a crooked billionaire that's stealing all of the money from everybody, and you're making it look like you're working when really you're just throwing people's money around, trashing the planet, and acting like you're really cool and smart and that you do things when you don't. That's the only way. So the only way to like really quit working in life is to be a scammer, essentially. Like, yeah, I don't have to name billionaires right now, but those types. Which, not everybody gets to be a billionaire, even if you are an absolute soulless scumfuck like these ruling class folks. But you know, I don't think any of you are soulless. If you were soulless, you wouldn't be on my channel. So if you're not soulless, you have absolutely no chance of becoming a billionaire. I'm sorry, that's just, I don't make the rules, they do. So, like, you got to get that idea out of your head that, like, going your own way, leaving society means that you're never going to work again and that you don't have to worry about things and there's not accountability. Freedom is not free. Sorry to use the patriotic terminology, but it's not. Having a free place to exist should be everyone's right as a human being. But, like, existing takes work, and existing well takes more work. Let's see. Or you could be reincarnated as Satan. She works. She's a working dog. It's true. Satan. And I'm going to give you a little treat. Actually, so one of the things that I had on my wish list that somebody ordered was Satan's dog food. So I didn't order more of her dog food because I was expecting that to come in the mail. So I ran out this morning, and I'm going to have to run and grab some more dog food for her. But she had a little bit less than she's used to getting for breakfast, so I feel really bad because I haven't had time to go out. Anyway, that's just me bitching about things. So yeah, obviously I have a job, but I'm working for myself. Nobody tells me what I can and can't talk about on my streams. YouTube can take down my content if I say things that are against their terms of service or whatever, which they do. But you know, I'm not answering to another person, and I'm working within I guess a system and a company that I don't like. I don't like YouTube. I fucking hate Google, and but that's kind of just like the medium that I have found to be the best for me to work in. So like I guess don't get hedged in by dogma or by other people trying to explain to you what your morals are. Like, fuck them. Fuck them all. How to quit your job and follow your dreams. How do I make my answer? My answer is just do it. Don't stop thinking about it and just do it. Literally, nobody is stopping you except for you. Yeah, just like I was on the road for like 3 years before I settled into Slab City for the long term, and I 3 years on the road is a while. I had run out of my savings and was kind of making my way by busking and selling little trinkets that I had made, little belt pouches and jewelry and stuff like that. And even though I was like, I had freedom, I could go wherever I wanted. Of course, I had to come up with a plan on how I was going to obtain the supplies that I needed. That's kind of the trade-off. But before I hit the road, I had been working real jobs, and not real jobs. I've never had like a real job, like a fucking... Anyway, I was working jobs, okay, before I hit the road, and I did things by the book, like what you're supposed to do. I went and took jobs when available, worked my ass off, and, was living in like apartments and one point an RV, and like no matter how hard I worked, I could never put away more than like $1,000, and that was like after a whole month of saving, like just podunk jobs. With other jobs, you can there's certain shit that you can do and just get like a good sum of money in a quick gig, but they're brutal. But no matter how hard I worked, I felt like I was just treading water. Like there was no end in sight. Just working so that I could pay for the things that I need so that I could keep working. And it's just like that cycle. I saw it play out in my head over and over and over again. And I'm like, that's not me. That's not what I want to do. I would literally rather just, live in squalor and do what I want to do. I just want to be an artist, and the idea of spending my entire life working for somebody else that's doing something that I don't particularly care for, that while those people get richer and richer that own the companies and own the owners to the companies, etc. Like I couldn't be okay with it. There's so many things that I could say about that and like how dismal that idea was to me. And I hit the road originally because I was like, I would literally rather die than do that. And that being the case, then I might as well try literally everything else first before offing myself. You know what I mean? So if you're at the point where you're like, I hate my job so much that I want to die, like, you have nothing left to lose. You really don't. Just fucking go. Like, just go. You don't have to off yourself. Like, really. There's the entire world out there waiting for you. Anything is better than working a job that you hate or blowing your head open, okay? So, just getting that out there. There's everything else to do. And if you're already thinking about going that route, then there's the only thing stopping you is your conditioning to think that you're trapped when you're not. Just go. Seriously, like, go hang out with home bums. Like, start walking in a direction and see what happens. I don't know. Like, fucking see how far you can drive your car before it shits out. Like I did. Yeah, the world's your oyster, buddy. And the world always is going to suck. And you're always going to have to work at something. But at least when you're on your own path, the things that you need to work for become more obvious. Instead of just like, I need to work for money. What do I need money for? I need money to buy this and 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 this. Why am I not happy? I don't know. I bought all those things. You know, but when you're out on your own path, you're like, wow, I'm feeling like shit. Why am I feeling like shit? Oh, I'm hungry and I need to take a nap. Like, okay, like it's not hard to just get food places. Just like we're in a developed country. There's food in dumpsters, and if you're too chicken shit to go dig around in a dumpster, like just sit on a bench and, you know, if somebody walks by with leftovers from some high-end restaurant that they're gonna fucking throw in the garbage after it's been sitting in the fridge for the week, like just be like, hey, can I have that? And like 5 out of 10 times they'll be like, hell yeah, brother. Like seriously. And yeah, I talked about this on my How to Live Simply series. There's tons of it. So yeah, there's tips on how to provide for yourself with no or low monies, right? There's tons of ways. So when your problems are more clear to you, then they're much more achievable instead of some analogous, like, general suck that you have to address but you don't know how. And how I keep going is giving good information to people, giving good ideas and talking on the philosophy and whatnot. This is a donation-based exchange. If you do have money because you've been working at a job that you hate, feel free to spread some cheddar on this broke-ass cracker and click one of the links in the description. There's PayPal, Venmo, and Cashapp there. A number of people have been super kind the last few streams and got down with the kickdown. I'm trying to stay afloat right now, but it's not because I'm not working hard. It's because I'm in an incredible amount of pain because my prosthetic leg is it doesn't fit me, and I talked about this yesterday. It's because other people aren't working. It's a large company, probably owned by a billionaire, that will do anything to not provide services to people who need them. So that's why I'm hurting right now. But I did make some calls today, and I'm going to be making some referrals, or getting some referrals for. I'm trying to get the ball rolling on going to a different prosthetic clinic, which is going to be a bitch. But it's kind of like where some folks might be with their job. It's a bitch to switch, but it's even more of a bitch not to. So I'm just gonna bite the bullet. Off-Road Aussie says, sounds like the first step is the hardest. Yeah, just like cutting that fucking cord or pulling up that anchor, I guess. And like I said earlier, you don't have to travel around. You don't have to be a nomad. You can be, that's awesome. You can be like me, kind of part-time nomad, part-time not. But most people are pretty sedentary these days, and there's nothing wrong with that. You're allowed to be sedentary, and you don't need to conform to how the system wants you to do that. So nobody knows how you specifically can traverse that tightrope between living within society and living authentically to yourself and doing the things that you love. But, good start is learning how to garden and, mend your own clothes, like figuring out ways that you don't have to spend money where people typically would. That is, of course, going to be more work for you. If you're going to make your own clothes, that takes a lot of time. Clothes are, they're hard. But also, there's enough clothes out there that you don't have to make all your clothes. You can go and just scavenge them. There's tons of unused clothes in literal mountains all over the world because there's so much textile waste. So the best way, I think, if you want to spend less money and still live within society is to learn how to obtain things for free when you can, whenever possible. And, just see your opportunities and seize your opportunities. Everybody's path is different. That's why autonomy is so beautiful. Like I said earlier, if you're waiting for permission, here it is. I, Cornelius Vango, give you permission to quit your job and do what you love to do. If that's what you need, then there you go. You have it. But if you're happy in your job and it's fine for you, you feel pretty good about it. I'm not trying to convince you to. That's not for you. If you like your job and you feel good about what you're doing, then you keep doing what you're doing. There's no right way. Without people that are like that do work in a way that is authentic to them, and they're making decent money. Those are people like me and people like them are a symbiotic, are a symbiotic species. People that know who they are and what they want to do and are rewarded by the system are the people that are keeping me kicking. They're the people that are throwing money into my PayPal account or whatever. Hint, hint, if that's you, fucking ring-a-ding-ding, bitch. Hit me up. Throw some money in my... I'm sorry. Anyway, fuck you, pay me. Okay? I enrich your life. So... yeah, people like that are successful in the, the current economy and what they do, and they're happy with it, are people that keep me going. And people like me are that go and live outside of that society, outside of that humdrum, normal, boring, everyday life, in those same social circles where everybody's circle jerking about who's getting paid what and where your new house is and blah, 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 blah. People like me bring a lot of inspiration to them, and through art and music and content online, it's a symbiotic relationship. We need each other. So my point is never to try and convince people that are happy with where they're at to do something else, because that's dumb. That'd be like somebody telling me to get a job. That's ridiculous. For many reasons, because I have a job, I've made one. I'm not working for somebody else who's telling me what kind of content to make. But I do have a job. And likewise, people that have jobs that are happy with them and live their lives, if I were to tell them to live free, they might think that's silly too, because they kind of do, it's they're living life on their own terms. It takes all types, and just because you are I know in my subculture of travelers, whatever, I'm just gonna say travelers. A lot of people seem to think that they have to commit to that lifestyle forever. And we're not stagnant creatures. We change and we grow, and who we were 10 years ago is unrecognizable to us today. So as an example, if you're a traveler and you've been doing that for your whole life, and the idea of settling in somewhere and getting a regular job and little apartment and have a place that you can call your own might seem like the thing to do, but you might have some ideas that people are going to think that you're a sellout or whatever, you're fake, or you're not really about the life, even though you've put in 10, 15 years on the fucking road or on the street or whatever. That's absurd. Like, you're allowed to change and you're allowed to deviate from your current path. You are never locked in to anything for the rest of your life. Don't ever let anybody make you think that. Like, you know, if people are like, where do you see yourself 15 years down the road? Don't. Just don't. Fuck that. I don't want to know where I'm going to be in 15 years. That's ridiculous. All right, I'm going to catch up in chat here. I've been on a roll, baby. I ain't seeing no kickdowns, you fucking freeloaders. All right, let's see. Satan's just crunching. Badgers, though, ask, what are your pronouns? They, them, but in a guy way. Hey, Rod Ostrich, what's up, dude? Boxerman, hell yeah. Ava Moon says, I'm too sick to travel like I used to. Hope I get my health back, but I think I'm just different now. Probably permanent limitations. Have to plan to travel a different way soon, though. Okay, I mean, yeah, I guess my rant earlier was kind of for you. It's like, you know, you don't have to travel to live your own way. I mean, you can move to the countryside, too. Like, and you don't have to move to the countryside. You can live in a city and do your own thing. It's just a lot harder. If you find some cheap land that's not too far outside of a town with basic amenities, that's a really great way to live a sedentary life that's on your own terms. You're probably not going to be going to nightclubs as often, but I imagine you're not going to nightclubs every weekend. I don't know. Do you sell prints of art you make? That's a that's a pertinent question. Yes, I do. I don't have anything to sell right now, but yeah, I'm gonna be focusing on that. Yeah, I have done that in the past. I do runs, and when I drop some prints, I let everybody know. So keep an eye out if you're into that. I will be doing some type of new merch sooner than later. I keep saying that I'm going to, and then like life gets hella hectic, and then I've got to do all these crazy things that I didn't know that I was gonna have to do. Being in the city has that effect, and it's really overwhelming to me. This is not my element. I don't know how to conduct myself here. Your tubing says, I'm working where I'm working to gain skills and move on. I don't plan to die here. My coworker is stuck here, and I know what you're talking about. Yeah, people just get stuck in a mentality. And, like, I'm not, you know, they're victims of a system that kind of, you know, draws people into that mindset and conditions them to become reliant on the system. So these people can't imagine what their life would look like outside of it. And so they have strange ideas for what alternative ways of living can look like. And that's one reason why I do appreciate folks like representing themselves online, like homesteaders or slabbers or travelers, etc., so that you can see that like there is life outside of the system, and a privileged few get to enjoy it on that level, and most, you know, like if you're okay with doing with a lot less than you're conditioned to have, and living a more simple life, you can live really, really well for pretty cheap. There's ways to do it, and other people that use money more or in a different way than I do, or spent more time in the system than I did, would be able to explain it better to you than I could. Yeah, I really haven't spent enough time in the system as an adult to even like begin to explain like finances. Yeah. I couldn't remember what the word sponsor was on my stream yesterday. Like I respect money and I use money and I would like to have more of it, but I don't use it the way that that society wants me to. It is a tool that exists and I accept that. It's the capitalism that's killing us. Off-road says, I love my work. I'm a support worker. I care for people. It keeps me going and it pays well. That's awesome, man. Hell yeah. You essentially made a way where the system said there isn't a way. Yeah, I want to just I just want to be Cornelius Vango, and that's my occupation. I don't want to do all of this shit. I didn't ask for this. I'm like, yeah, I'm a throwback model. I just want to be a traveling, adventuring bard and like slay a dragon once in a while, but mostly just get high and wander through fields and play guitar and, maybe like solve a mystery here and there and take on work seasonally, push in one of those plows behind a horse and cut some wood and whatever. And yeah, just wander the countryside, getting into some crazy shit. That's what I'm built for. That's what I do. And there's like no space for that in a lot of places. I have to wander pretty damn far. Life is hard. It's never gonna be not hard. It's just your what makes or breaks you is your response to the things that you're dealing with. Like, if you're stuck in a defeatist mentality, that is a hell of your own making. And I'm sorry to say it, but it's true. Nobody hooked you up to like wires in your head when you were a baby and like gave you shock therapy so that you would fall in line and like conform and do, participate in the system and subjugate yourself. Like, nobody made you do that. You just kind of did it. And it's not like they didn't set it up unfairly to like make that happen. It's kind of like we're farming ourselves, okay? We're working class people are livestock. It works much the same way, except it's like there's a consent to it, like an unspoken consent. And if they don't tell you that you're consenting, like, and that you have the option to consent, like, then you don't know, right? So there's like an element at play that you're not privy to. But it's like at some point in our distant past, right? Our cave people, ancestors, it was like, I don't know, not cave. I'm trying to think of like the actual part in our development. Anyway, we're like, I can't remember exactly when we domesticated animals, okay? But we did that at some point, and like, what probably happened is they would just set food out for those animals to eat, and the animals would come and eat it. And so they'd keep doing that. So those animals will come to expect that that there's going to be food in this place. And since they're wild animals, you probably don't want them to see you. And then over time, you'll notice that they will get braver. Like they'll see you coming and know that when they see you coming, there's going to be food in this spot. So then they start associating you with the food, and they stop fearing you, right? And then eventually, maybe, they'll have babies in the next generation. By that point, they'll be so used to seeing you around that, like, they might even let you get pretty close to them or pet them or whatever. And eventually, you'll start riding them or milking them or whatever the fuck. That's what we've done to ourselves as a society. And there's definitely a difference between like ruling class and working class. So that's what the ruling class. The ruling class is has domesticated the working class, and they want to keep it that way so that they can not work. Pavlov's dogs. Yeah. Yep. Similar. That's a different experiment, but I mean, yeah, domesticating wild animals was a thing that happened, not an experiment, but I actually saw like a little article about Pavlov's experiment the other day, but I don't want to get sidetracked. Gonna get my own handyman business going. That's awesome, dude. People always need a handyman. Eva Moon says, I'm grateful every day. I have not lived solely in the system, working Monday through Friday with the same commute. I may have nothing now, but at least I did do that shit to myself. Yeah, I mean, sometimes, like, I get overwhelmed when I'm in people's houses and they have a lot of stuff. Like, it genuinely makes me, like, really uncomfortable. Because it's like, I'm sad for them because they have all of this stuff, like, cluttering up their, like, they would have so much space to, like, throw parties and, like, run around and, like, build shit. I don't know. And then they just feel like these houses with things that they fret over but never use. And it just makes me feel a lot of anxiety. This is about all I have. That's I have my car with some shit in the desert, but it doesn't have much in it. There's that, and I have I have a large ammo box and like a treasure chest. And then like a couple bags in my car, and a closet full of stuff at the library. Yeah, that's all I own. And I feel great. I love that. I love that for me. I don't have to worry about a bunch of shit. So I guess, yeah, downsizing is a really good way to kind of clear your head too. It's like when you're being conditioned for pleasure and consumerism, right? Like, they want you to keep buying stuff for that dopamine hit, but then the dopamine wears off and it didn't solve your problems or like fix your life. And maybe even you feel a little guilty about buying it, or, you know, like say you got a guitar and you never learned how to play it. Like, you keep it around because you want to get around to playing it someday, but you never do, and every day you just feel bad about it. It's like a negative impact on your life. Like, it shouldn't be, but it is. Things are just things. You come into this world with nothing, you're going to leave here with nothing. Like, what good is ownership if you're not using your stuff? What good is a thing if you can't enjoy it? And what good is a thing if it's sitting collecting dust, not being enjoyed? Just, yeah, I don't know. Food for thought. Anyway, I'm going to go on my page here, and I'm going to read the chat through my computer because I don't want to... Oh, hey, whoa. Hey, look at that handsome devil. What's up? Actually, I kind of want to have a smoke. Anybody have any questions? I've been rambling for a while, and I'm really glad about it because I feel like this is the kind of topic that I just can kind of rant about. So if you have any questions about the subject matter that I've been speaking about today, now is your chance to ask. I will take your questions and smoke on the fucking windowsill. Hell yeah. All right. Hey, the train's rolling in. Nice. I love this spot. I took Satan to a secret no trespassing area yesterday. which is our new favorite park. I've taken her there a couple times now. Somebody wasn't making enough money out of that patch of land, so then they fenced it off so that the people can't use it. It's a perfectly nice open area. It's quiet as hell, and it's actually pretty big, but I'm not going to blow my spot up. Fucking capitalism. It's a perfectly good park. People could be living there. That could be like a whole part of town, but it's Satan and I's mostly private park. There's a couple of home bums that I see up there, but they're pretty chill. They've hacked a water line too. I ain't gonna tell anybody about it, but like, except for all 60 of you or so. Crafty. There's some crafty folks. I saw one guy carrying a 5-gallon jug of water from their little cracked spigot there, or water line. I don't know, they must have had to dig for it because I didn't see a spigot, but and he was carrying it over to his herb garden too. A lot of these folks living on the street in LA have herb gardens. Can you believe that? Like, how crafty. And I'm sure there's I've seen some pretty insane like compounds just built into you know, decommissioned like municipal shit. Like, it's fascinating. Alright, I'm gonna see what's going on in chat here. I know I just switched to my computer and then I went outside. That's the ADHD for you. Let's see. White Russian says, I'm about to donate a whole load of things next week, but I can't bring myself to throw away the books that carried me through some hard times. Don't throw away your books. I mean, unless they're moldy or something. If they're moldy, then don't give them to somebody else to have to deal with, because that's not fun. Speaking from experience. But if they're good, if they're perfectly good books, bring them to a homeless outreach or something. Or start a little free library somewhere. I would start a little free library. That would be something that might enrich your life. They can't stop you. You can put like a little, you know, just like enough for maybe like 30 books in it, and just like put your stuff out there. Somebody will pick them up. Seriously, everybody should have a little like donation, like take one, leave one kind of area. Even if you're mostly putting stuff there, it's fine, because you're always getting stuff anyway that you probably don't need, and where else are you going to put it? Leave it out for folks that need it, and it'll come around. If we all start doing this, then I hate starting statements like with like, if we all just, you know, then, but I'm gonna make one. If we all had like a free box or a free table, or like something where we can put things that we don't want to just donate, like, you know, like a designated, like a recycling bin next to your other stuff, you know, that just says like take or leave, whatever. Then like a lot of mundane things that we buy, like at the dollar store, like that throwaway fucking plastic crap that like some poor kid in a less developed country probably made for like less than a penny. There would be a lot of waste reduction, and a lot of people not having to buy things. You know, a dollar here and there for little appliance things, like, it adds up. So if we all had free boxes, then the world would be a better place. That's my if-then statement. And there's really nothing stopping you. And like, if everybody does something, then they can't fuck with everybody. We have numbers. And it doesn't even have to be everybody. It just has to be like most people. People with, you know, class consciousness and solidarity, and that number can grow, especially if we are activists in the space that we occupy, in whatever capacity that may be. Maybe it's just putting out a free box with some, like, you know, soups and mac and cheese and some books and magazines that you don't need, or, you know, volunteering at your local soup kitchen or something, or cleaning out your neighbor's house because they're old and they can't do it themselves. You know, that sort of thing. Ugh. Kelly Girl says, I like stuff, got rid of my stuff when we moved, but I like Goodwill shopping. Yeah, and here's a pro tip. It's morally correct to steal from Goodwill. Pro tip. You can find out why on your own. Just look up where their funds go to. I've drowned myself in stuff my whole life. It's a curse. I mean, you know, some people have emotional issues that cause them to become attached to things, but like anything else, you just have to exercise letting go of attachment. So if that is going through your things right now and just getting like a shoebox, right? And filling that shoebox, just a little shoebox with stuff that you don't need. Stuff that you haven't used in a while. Is it dusty? Is it grimy? Has it not moved in a long time? Put it in the box. And then close the box and put it somewhere outside where people can find it. And they'll, you know, somewhere that you're not going to go back to like 5 minutes later and go grab everything and put it in your garage, okay? You know, like leave it where there's a bunch of homeless people or something. Or if it's really not useful stuff, then I don't know, leave it next to a recycling bin and somebody will poke through it maybe. Or donate it to Goodwill or some other better thrift store that actually does things for people. Not Salvation Army. Their Salvation Army is another hustle. All right, we're about at the top of the hour here. I want questions about how to quit your job and follow your dreams. Go. Burning questions. You got 5 minutes. It's your last chance. Ooh, this is dead. That's why I'm not hitting it. Damn. Okay, well, I want to hit this weed more than I want to hit this. No, I'm gonna rip this a few more times. And then I'm gonna plug that in. Yeah, shit. I have a lot more work to do today. And I'm working towards, you know, improving my life bit by bit through getting medical care. And, I mean, yeah, the medical care is a big thing. I've been doing therapy sessions and got some prescriptions from an actual doctor. And I'm working toward getting a new leg, but that's going pretty lousy right now. Yeah, there's always going to be struggles, even if you are following dreams. Sometimes, especially if you're following your dreams, but it's your privilege to get to work through those instead of pushing them aside all the time because you're working for somebody else. Cali Girl says, get fired. Worked for me. Lol. There you go. Steal from your job. I'm going to get fucked so hard by YouTube for this stream, actually. This is all a joke. I'm an entertainer. My real name is Jebediah Kuznetsov. And I live in LA, and I'm an actor. None of this is to be actually applied in your life. I'm just kidding. No, I'm not. Okay, for people who are autistic and have trouble, like, I'm like, when I say stuff like that, it's meant to be so ridiculous that you know. Anyway, whatever. I'm trying to cover my ass. I'm just digging myself in a deeper hole here. All right. Dark Wolf says, I worked my whole life, got hurt at work, went homeless for 6+ years, finally got disability. No one helped me other than a sister. Damn, man. That's brutal. Yeah, that's unfortunately a pretty common story. Tally Girl says, never quit due to wanting to get unemployment after. I mean, yes, you could just, make it so that they have to fire you and then collect unemployment. That's a good way around it. Sure. You can do that. It's a great idea. How to quit job when grandkids in need and dads won't provide. That's rough, Carrie. Because, other people kind of put you in that position, so it's unfair to you. And I don't know how old your grandkids are, but that's, everybody's got a complicated situation, and having to care for other people is definitely one of the more complicated situations to get out of. So you're going to have to reconcile with what you want to do in that situation and what you need to do for yourself. Because at the end of the day, you're an individual with your own needs that you need to take care of. And if you're not doing that, then, it's not your, you don't have to be the one that takes care of other people. It's a good thing to do. And you undoubtedly love these people. So yeah, it's a complicated situation. But I don't know, you could get fired and collect the unemployment and live more cheaply and send the money over to them. I don't know. There's no step-by-step guide on how to do it because everybody's situation is unique. Mary says, I would love to be out there doing my own thing. Problem is, I don't think my family would be okay with that. Well, then fuck them. I don't know, if what you do and what you want to do isn't hurting anybody and people want to, talk shit on you for whatever reason, then that's their problem, not yours. And if their love is conditional like that, then they don't really love you. And it's a good way to find out if they do or don't. Yeah. Conditional love is not actually love and acceptance. So, you might already be missing something that you are afraid to miss. How do I live my life guilt-free? Culturally, people who left communist countries are expected to do well by American standards, by our parents. Yeah, same advice. Fuck them. Opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one. Most people don't want to see it. And if they do, it's a consensual thing. You're not hurting them by not living up to their ideals. And if they're trying to hold you to specific ideals, then they're actually hurting you. So fuck them. We got Captain posting some classic rock lyrics. Good song. Alright, we're getting a lot of good A lot of good comments here. Damn, I'm trying to keep up. I'm gonna go inside and plug this fucking thing in. We still got another couple minutes here. If anybody else has any questions or you just need a little bit of a little additional, what's the word? Confidence? No. Encouragement, I guess. That's not what I was... Anyway, if you're looking for more encouragement, if you already know what it is that you want to do and you're just waiting for somebody to give you the go-ahead, ask me any question, and I will tell you honestly what the answer is to the best of my understanding. Now's your chance. You get a few minutes here while I charge up this vape. Nice. And let's see. Oh yeah, add me on Instagram too, if you're into that. I post on Instagram like basically every day. I wonder if I can hit this while it's charging. Nope. No such luck. Alright, let's see what's going on in chat here. Nomad Terry says, I dream of new life. Don't let your dreams just be dreams, Terry. Make those decisions every day. If those small decisions that you make every day while keeping focused on your dream at large make a difference and bring you closer. Just every day work a little closer to getting answers that will make it easier for you to move ahead in the way that you want to. Like, that's kind of how I got to the point that I'm at. Like, at a certain point, maybe like 20 years ago, 15 years ago, I thought to myself, like, every decision that I make from now on will be made with the underlying understanding of my dreams and how I want to be, like, get closer to them. So, like, if I'm making any decision, even if it's like, what am I going to eat for dinner tonight? I think, like, what decision will bring me closer to my dreams? Even, like, you know, like, oh, should I wash my ass tonight? What decision will bring me closer to my dreams? Probably washing my ass, like, you know, if we're being real, or like taking care of myself, or like that sort of thing. You know, every small decision you make, ask yourself, like, how will this get me closer to X, like whatever it is that you're dreaming of. And it helps if you start kind of smaller too. Like, if you go your big dream, right, your big lofty end goal, and then you want to have like kind of steps that will bring you closer to that. And each of those steps can branch out into a different whole realm of possibilities and steps to get you closer to that dream, or even bigger dreams that you couldn't have conceived of before. And you need to adapt that. Don't hold to your steps like it's like a doctrine or a Bible or something. Like, you need to be able to adapt and change with an ever-changing environment that you couldn't have possibly foresaw the conditions of. So you got to keep that in mind. But let's say my dream was originally to get in my van and drive around until I found what it was that I was searching for. And so in order to do that, I had lost my license at a point, and I needed to get my license back. And so for a while, every decision that I made was with that question: how will this get me closer to getting my license back so that I can have my freedom, you know, eventually. Like, so yeah, divvying those big dreams into smaller achievable goals. Set very achievable goals for yourself, even if it's like, today I'm going to do the laundry, come hell or high water, come what may. At the very least, I'm going to do that one fucking thing, and just do it. And set, not just like, you know, not just decide that you're going to do it, but also like in those small decisions that you make during the day, like, how will this help me to get closer to doing laundry? You know, like, you get up out of bed and you're overwhelmed and you're like, man, I'm in pain, I'm overwhelmed, I can't do anything right now. You know, what should I do? I can't do the fucking laundry. Well, you know, eat a bowl of some type of food, whether it's something that you enjoy or not. Just get that food in you. That'll get you closer to doing laundry, because probably, you know, your mood will be improved if you're not hungry, right? And take some painkillers or something if you're in physical pain. That'll get you closer. You get what I'm trying to say here? You know, like, have a bigger goal, and then all of those things that you're doing are to, like, set yourself up to get closer to that bigger goal. Okay, so my big goal right now is to get a new prosthetic leg and also work toward top surgery. That's what I want to do. So if anybody wants to get down with the kickdown, I have links in the description. There's PayPal, Cashapp, and Venmo. And I do have an Amazon wish list with goods and items that will serve me and my my hound, my perfect Satan, yes, who I'm about to go to pick up some things at the store for. But if you'd like to get down with the kickdown, throw down, help us on our own quests to freedom, then feel free to drop something in any of my money apps. Or you can get some cool swag in my merch section or whatever. And I hope that anything that I have said today is helpful, or at least thought-provoking. And if you're watching this after I've live streamed, feel free to drop a comment or ask a question. And yeah, join us in the Discord server. Ah, damn. It's still dead. There we go. And, you know, at the very least, I hope you have a really great day. Sometimes just enjoying your day and taking care of yourself is the most radical course of action that you can take. So, you know, if bigger, loftier goals are a little bit too much for you right now, then focus on things at hand that you can do to improve your life in the immediate sense. All right? I'll catch y'all later, and thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate y'all. Take care.